Yo, what is going on, Full Heel Podcast? I am your host, Rafael Chairez. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and rate and review. All that cool stuff. Go ahead and hit up the rewrites. Check them out. That was the band you heard. They're my buddies, a local band from Chicago. Yeah, go ahead and hit them up. The rewrites on YouTube, SoundCloud, Twitter, Facebook, all that cool shit. Join the Facebook group. Check out Sun Caesar or Quadro. I don't think it's Quadro though on Facebook. Check out Sun Caesar. Check out his music links. I have a bunch of links of his on my thing. I don't exactly remember. I think it's Sun Caesar, his rapper name. He doesn't go by, all these aliases that they have.
Okay. Yeah, it's this social media.
Yeah.
Stuff. I'm not into that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't have an Instagram or a Twitter.
I had to get it for the show, but I didn't have it. I had Facebook. After that, I had to get Twitter and Instagram more for the podcast purposes to get the show out there.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And
what?
And you can, and anybody can have an Instagram, but I've always been of the opinion that like Instagram's for chicks. Even though it's not, I'm just saying, like, I mean, in the early days of Instagram, yeah, because you'd take, like, the gimmick was you'd take pictures and have all these.
You're a gimmick.
Yeah, I am a gimmick. You'd take the pictures and have all these.
What, the booty pictures?
Well, that and but you would take all these pictures of like scenes and stuff of like a sunset or whatever, and then run it through a couple filters and then post it to your Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Oh, that was a gimmick. Early days of Instagram.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Thanks a lot for joining me today, Jesus.
Yeah, no, it's my pleasure. We promised and we delivered.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about Uncensored 97.
Yeah. I want to get your quick thoughts on WrestleMania 35. I already talked about it with Ryan a bunch, so if you just want to quick review it, it's fine. Main event, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and Ronda. What do you think about it?
I thought it was a good main event, although I don't think that's what they should have gone off the air with. Mm-hmm. Just in hindsight, the way the match finished, the way that there was a disputable finish with the whole shoulder on the mat thing. I think that the match that they should have gone off with was the Daniel Bryan and Kofi one, because Kofi won clean. He there was no.
Did you hear that the main event was botched?
Yeah, I did hear.
That the ref got fined as well. I don't know if that's kayfabe as well.
Yeah, no, and you know what? I like that. I like that there's some blurring of the lines there to the point where like neither one of us can tell.
Yeah.
So I do like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that they were able to kind of the circumstances coming out of it with the whole botch thing. They were able to incorporate it into what's now a storyline, and I do like that, but I don't like that it was a disputable finish. But yeah. I thought the match overall was really good. In hindsight, I can see. I know I was a little critical of it being a multi-person match, but in hindsight, I can see why.
Charlotte deserved to be there, and I know a lot of people will not agree with that, but she's one of the better wrestlers ever in the women's division. Her father's name, well, it holds a legacy. What she's done,
considering that she is one of the better women's wrestlers there, I don't think that Ronda and Becky could could have had that match on their own, just because of Ronda's limitations.
Yeah.
I don't think she's where she should be as far as her wrestling.
And as far as the main event of WrestleMania and the first ever, like, it was a good match, but I think they did need Charlotte in there to add some more depth to it.
Yeah.
To get some more out of it. And I think it was good. I just think the WWE played around with the order so much of the card, and they tried to get peaks and valleys out of it that it didn't work out in their favor. We busted our load way too early.
I think that when you add elements that aren't organic, like for example, Vince adding Charlotte to the match, that seemed a little forced and inorganic.
Yeah.
But the rise of Becky was very organic, and I thought that if they would have let that match build as organically as possible, I could have probably gotten even more invested than I already was and been less critical of it being a multi-person match.
Because the Kofi Daniel Bryan was pretty organic.
Yeah.
Even within how they played out the storyline. Because without them playing out the storyline, like Vince coming out and telling him you're a B player, you're not going to be in there, he just would have not gotten the fight. And that's how it would have been. And it just would have been a thought process gone on in Vince's head. But they actually made it come to fruition, and they played it as a storyline, as, you're a B player.
Well, it's fine, when Vince is inserted into one match, but again, inserting yourself into more than one match and being a critical part of it, like, stick to one thing.
Mm-hmm. He didn't need it in the... You could have had Steph insert her in there because Flair was attacking these girls over and over again and interrupting their matches because that was going to be the main event and she wanted in. Something like that.
Yeah, and towards the end, one of the things that got me more invested in that match was the fact that, like, okay, these three people are in a collision course. And before WrestleMania, this shit is going to blow up. That's exactly what happened. And I know we said it last week where I would have liked it if they had, like, the entire locker room, men, women, everyone in the locker room just comes out and tries to separate this huge brawl between the three of them. I would have preferred that over the whole them getting arrested thing. But overall, I thought it was well done.
Kurt Angle had a shitty match. Well, not a shitty match. It was just a shitty opponent, I guess. But putting Corbin over was the right decision.
Yeah, it wasn't an ideal opponent, but I do think that Kurt did what was right for business,
for WWE.
What was right for WWE. Putting over the young talent. For whatever reason, they think very highly of Corbin.
Yeah, they do. It seems like Triple H really likes him. You saw how he attacked him with the water gun.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I did.
I put up a video. I sent it to you actually too.
Yeah, I did see it.
That was my favorite part of the night.
Yeah, it seems like they're really high on Corbin, and I think this match was what it was. Kurt Angle, I don't think could move as good as he should be able to, just due to the years of neck issues. I've always been under the impression that he probably can't move his head left or right as one normally can.
Yeah.
Which is why he looks so stiff in the ring.
Yeah. Kofi Daniel Bryan had a badass match.
Yeah, and like I said, this is what I think should have closed the show.
Ultimately, Kofi comes out with the clean win, picks up the title, first ever African American Grand Slam champion, because Naomi technically is the first African American main title champion. She's the women's WWE champion, and she's full African American.
Yeah. Yep.
Because a lot of people were, I just thought about it, because a lot of people were complaining that the WWE hadn't really because The Rock is half and half. Mark Henry won the WCW, and Booker T won the WCW. There had never been...
They had the big gold.
Yeah, the big gold, so the WCW won. And so they had never won the WWE one or WWF one.
Yeah.
An African American, and I guess Naomi would be the first one. Because if you count the women's, which I guess it's not really counted, so then it would be Kofi. And then he did it by also getting the first Grand Slam guy, too. He's the first Grand Slam.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
How long do you think they keep it on?
Yeah, I was expecting for them to take it off him on SmackDown. But,
don't you mean Raw?
Or Raw, yeah.
When he challenged, what's his name?
Yeah, I was expecting for them to take it off him. You know, just have him have the moment and then take it off a couple days later on one of the shows. But I don't know. I don't know that I would keep the title on him for too long because Kofi has been someone that they haven't pegged him as a main event guy, you know, in those 11 years or what have you. And so
it's his time, bro.
I know it's his time, but they at the same time, like, I can't. If you're looking at this from a slightly more serious perspective, you can't take someone like that that seriously just because they've never really positioned him as a main event guy. You know, he's always been mid card fodder, the guy that takes the pin.
And right now with the shakeup, it's probably not going to happen where they keep it on him for too long. What I was going to say is if they weren't going to do the shakeup, they do where Luke Harper comes and help. Well, I guess they could keep those guys in place and just add more to the roster, right? They're not going to really move up or move a lot of people around. They do move some people though. But what I was going to say is, what if they add Luke Harper to the stable of these guys, and it's the New Day and Kofi? Well, Kofi champion New Day, and it's Kofi a rivalry with Daniel Bryan, where it's a triple thing kind of thing, and they're feuding for the title. You can keep it on them, and I could see how WWE would do it, but there's a shakeup coming, so who knows?
Yeah, I think we'll have a clearer picture of where they're going after next week. Because I don't know who you can position in, you know, going against Kofi.
I think it's just Daniel Bryan, and he'll probably lose it at the next pay-per-view just so you can get merchandise out of it. Look at the shirts that they made already right away. Yeah. New Day is always in the top of merchandise sales. And now that you can have Kofi with the championship belt, sell shirts like that, sell stuff like that, they can get away with it for a little bit, for maybe till the next pay-per-view.
But I will say, this is why you got to have, you know, your strong heels, so that you can have somebody going up against Kofi. I mean, one of the things that I would maybe like to see is Drew McIntyre in that position going against Kofi coming out of this shakeup.
Shout out to Frankie. Frankie says that The Rock only claims Samoa, though.
Damn.
Samoa. Well, his dad's full African American.
Yeah.
And his mom's Samoan.
Yeah. The soul man.
Yeah, so let's see what else happened there. What do you think about Seth and Brock opening up the main pay-per-view and it ending in the fashion that it ended? For those people that don't know, quick recap. Brock Lesnar beat the shit out of Seth for a little bit before the match started, illegally beating him up. Match started. Seth got German a couple times, was going to get F5'd. Reversed it, threw Brock into the ref. Low blowed Brock. Curb stomp 3 times. New champion. Fireworks get off. WWE blows their load in the first match. Does the WrestleMania moment. I'm not saying it's deserved. It was super quick. They did it in the first match, and it kind of dulled out the rest of the night, I would say. A little bit.
Again, I don't think this was a match that should have had a disputable finish, or, you know, just a fuck finish. I don't think it. I think it should have been a straight, clean win, because then you add credibility to the person that's holding the belt.
Yeah,
which would be Seth Rollins. You're gonna have Brock going away, so it's not like that's an issue that they're gonna go back to. because presumably Brock is going to be out for a while.
Especially after he gets his ass beat by DC. But
yeah, well, no, I'm sure he's going to like come like crawling back.
No, I think their relationship is always good.
Yeah, no, I think so.
I think the WWE is fine with it, and I think the UFC is fine with it. I think they're both. I think all three parties are getting what they want out of it, money.
But then you have the Saudi show coming up in June.
Mm-hmm.
I think they moved it up to June, and I'm not sure. I know they want the Undertaker to be on that. I don't know if they want Brock to be on that. It wouldn't surprise me if that show is, one where they don't book Brock just because of his other commitments. But just based on the fact that he's gonna be out for a foreseeable long period of time, you could have had him beat Clean, and it wouldn't have hurt him in any way because he's going away anyway.
Yeah,
and your really hardcore crowd knows that, and so it wouldn't have hurt Brock. And I think at least with me, Brock really has, like, I'm tired of him. I don't want to, and I'm getting kind of tired of Seth too. Like, we need to,
what?
Yeah, we need to get new faces, in the mix for that Universal title.
Well, the shakeup's coming up soon, so you might get your wish.
So yeah,
that's your thoughts on it.
Yeah, we definitely need new faces in the mix for that title. Again, something I think Drew McIntyre is a really good heel that you can put at odds against a babyface champion, either one. So that's just the thought there. Same with Bobby Lashley. I think Bobby Lashley is very underutilized. And not only underutilized, but he's not used properly either.
So what do you think about his demon Bobby Lashley persona?
Oh, with the
context.
With the context. Yeah, I thought that was a little weird.
Yeah. I think the WWE blew their load there too with announcing Finn Balor demon mode beforehand.
Yeah, that should have been
it should have been
like
saved.
a surprise for the crowd.
But it wasn't. God damn it. They blew their load.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me take a quick look at the card if we missed anything.
Aside from that, there were a lot of things on WrestleMania overall that I don't think should have been on WrestleMania that could have been saved for like Raw or SmackDown. I think WWE blew their load to bring back Roman. If you wanted to have Roman on the show, you could have had him come out with Seth. I don't think this was the show to bring him back. I think they hot-shotted his return.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
it fucks with this guy's push.
Yeah.
McIntyre's push.
Yeah.
Especially losing. So.
Yeah. I think Braun Strowman, they've completely given up on that, and it's a shame. I think he was the one who should have beat Brock whenever they had that match.
Do you think it was his mic skills that fucked him over?
I don't know. I can't say. I never had any issues with his mic skills. He's just this big brute that screams. Yeah, like when it's in your theme song, like that's what I expect on you. It's I can't say exactly where it went wrong. I think that for a time they had it right. And then, for whatever reason, they cooled him off, and look where he is now, winning the throwaway battle royal.
I think Brock has a big thing to do with them cooling him off, just because they didn't want to take it off of Brock. They wanted to appease Brock and keep him happy, and keeping the title on him was the way to keep him happy.
I don't think Brock cares about that. I think he cares about money. I think if they would have taken the title off of him, it would have been fine. But for whatever reason, they didn't. There's two times that they should have taken that title off of Brock. The first being with Strowman, and then the other with Joe.
Joe.
Yeah,
Joe,
if they didn't
Joe.
take it off of if they didn't take it off of him with Strowman, they should have taken it off with Joe. And speaking of Joe, that match with Rey Mysterio was a complete throwaway. I don't know why that needed to be there.
I heard Ray got injured.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Yeah,
so then they should have replaced him and had a better match with somebody else, or kept it off the show altogether. That themed costume that he always does at WrestleMania this year was Mysterio, like from Spider-Man.
Okay, we didn't know, right?
Yeah, we didn't, because I was like, "What the hell is he?"
Yeah, it looks scaly, didn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Like a lizard.
It was Mysterio.
I don't like his mohawk thing, but I guess he's got to change after the years. But after seeing today's pay-per-view, which we will cover, Uncensored 97, he was wearing the badass fucking Spider-Man gear.
Yeah.
The Spider-Man,
which is
the spider on his the spider on his crotch, the red
mask,
the red mask with the white,
the blue trunks and and the red boots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Spider-Man. Let's see. They did not give enough time to some matches that they should have. They give too much time to matches that they should not have, like you mentioned, that should have been SmackDown matches or Raw matches. Not WrestleMania matches. They gave those fucking long ass.
Well, not only that, but then they gave time to like R-Truth and Carmella. Like you don't really need that.
No, you don't.
And then the ultimate the people who ultimately pay the price is the crowd, because you had reports of people who couldn't make it home because trains stopped running.
Damn.
And so people were stranded. It was very Firefest. People were stranded outside of the stadium, MetLife Stadium, and they're only.
Oh, they couldn't make it back to New York.
Yeah, because the train stopped running. They were
take a ferry.
They were there
ferry?
Probably past midnight for sure.
They were, yeah, because it was already 11:30 something here.
Past midnight over on the East Coast. We're Central Time. They're on the East. And so those trains stopped running, and their only option was Uber, which I think they were charging like $90 for like that surge pricing for Uber.
Because everyone was calling it.
Because everybody was calling in, and that's Uber to hit you with the surge pricing.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah, and people were stranded, and it was raining, and
hey, New York, don't suck, or whoever controls that bridge, don't suck.
Well, it's very inconsiderate of WWE to
run that show.
To run that show that way. I think if they're gonna do that, they should split it up, where you have night one of WrestleMania being on Saturday and night two being on Sunday, and that the way that the match with Daniel Bryan ended. That would have been a really good ending to night one. And you have your NXT on Friday, WrestleMania night 1 Saturday, WrestleMania night 2 Sunday, and like the Hall of Fame somewhere in between.
I can see it, but
yeah, maybe like scale down the Hall of Fame to like a luncheon or something, and do it early Saturday.
You hater.
In the same arena or in the same venue as NXT.
You hater.
What? It's a good plan. Like, you're not fucking people over with their time. Because, man, even we watched it here. We watched it together with a couple other people.
Well, you came super late. I watched all of it.
I was watching all of it, but
I don't believe you.
But we were here. We were here late.
Yeah.
And that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah, I had work the next day.
Yeah.
That work is pretty good, though. You gotta admit.
Yeah, that was really good. I had the breaded steak sandwich.
I had the wangs, chicken wangs.
Yeah. I had the king size breaded steak sandwich.
Yeah, which I said not to, but being here 7 hours, I guess it made sense.
Being here 7 hours, I wasn't here the whole 7 hours, but For the amount of time, dude, that's how long this fucking thing was. Like, I
You
got
digested
here.
food.
Yeah, I got here. I ate half of my sandwich, and then like at the end of the night, I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
you
ahead."
destroyed the other half.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a bite out of it.
Yeah, you did.
Because I'm a badass. Yeah, so I don't know what else do you want to cover from 35? Anything?
Let's see. AJ Styles and Randy Orton was definitely a SmackDown match.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, here's the thing: you don't need to have every single person on WrestleMania.
They needed to have AJ Styles, bro, and Orton.
You know,
They had to.
back in the day, WrestleMania was it was nowhere near the I guess on in terms of production, it was nowhere near what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
But even still, it was treated as like the big show of the year. And I think that they were selective as to who they were going to put on that show, and then if you didn't make the cut, then you got to do something better, you know. And nowadays it's like, okay, here's an opportunity for everybody to be on the show. Even fucking R-Truth got you know a WrestleMania payday.
That's why there's a 30-man battle royal now.
You don't need a 30-man battle royal.
It diminishes the fucking Royal Rumble.
Yes.
So does the 60-man Saudi Arabia one that diminishes the Royal Rumble.
Well, I think that was like a one-time thing.
Well, they're going to Saudi Arabia again this year for the crown jewel.
I don't know what they're gonna do this year. I don't think they're gonna do a battle royal.
But that was the Royal Rumble. That was a 60-man Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Which diminishes the 30-man Royal Rumble that they had the same year.
Well, not and the frustrating thing too is like there's no stakes. All you get at the end is a belt.
A green belt, bro. Come on. It's sick.
A green belt that looks like didn't it look like the cruiserweight?
No, it looked like the WWE one.
Okay, it was just green.
Yeah, it was just green strap.
Okay, for some reason I was thinking it looked like the cruiserweight belt with a green strap.
Yeah, you're just making shit up now.
Yeah, and in the Andre Battle Royal, there's no stakes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you fighting for?
Trophy?
Fucking trophy?
Yeah, a giant trophy.
That never gets seen again.
It's the Andre the Giant one.
Yeah, not everybody needs to make it on that show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think WrestleMania should focus mainly on the storylines that you've been building up, and WrestleMania should really be a culmination of those storylines, much like it was for the Kofi storyline, for the Becky storyline. Everything else was just kind of secondary to that.
Yeah. You want to talk about Uncensored?
Yeah, let's get into it.
WCW. Let me take a swig of this coffee. Been smoking a lot.
Yeah, well.
That's what happens. That's what happens, bro. Let's see. This is Uncensored for March 17th or 16th, 1997. We covered the Nitro spring break before this, the week before.
Yeah, that was the Go Home Nitro going into Uncensored 97.
Yeah.
Uncensored 97.
Well, we had seen what the matches were coming up, so we're like, we got to cover it. The matches were really good. You, before this, said that the matches were kind of shitty. I actually really enjoyed this pay-per-view.
Really?
Yes.
I had mixed feelings about it. Like, there were a couple things on here that I didn't like.
Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero. What didn't you like about that?
I think that was this match and the next one were definitely the matches that stole the show.
The badass matches to start. They usually WCW like doing this with their talent, and I don't think they appreciated it because they wanted to be closers. They didn't want to be openers. But the WCW cruiserweight talent or the lighter talent really put on great opening shows. They opened the show great.
Yeah. The Dean Malenko Eddie Guerrero match. One of the first things that jumped in my head was here you have two guys that in about 2 years from this point, we're gonna be sitting next to each other on Raw as the Radicals.
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught that, but that was one of the things that just jumped in my head watching this match. I thought this was a really good way to open the show. You're absolutely right. WCW was more after how do we close the show with the big names that we have, and that was a formula that was okay for so long.
I think it led to their demise to a certain point.
Yes,
Because during this monster of a match, they cut to the NWO segment, which they were doing on Nitro as well.
yeah. So they interrupted this match to go to the back. They discovered one of the Steiners. Very nice.
I hope that registered.
They discovered Rick Steiner getting attacked by the NWO, or so it. They led you to believe that he got attacked by the NWO.
Well, NWO tried to kill the Steiners, so
Yeah,
of course they would attack him.
yeah. So, but you didn't actually see the attack take
Yeah,
place.
they were trying to. They're like, "Hey, someone attacked this guy! Paramedics, get over here! Someone
Yeah.
attacked this guy!"
Yeah, Scott Hall being hilarious.
Yeah, hey, someone attacked him, and he gets carried away. They cut twice to the back from that match. It's kind of a shame because they still keep it in the cube on the top thing, but they could have saved those segments for in between the matches.
Yeah.
They could have definitely done that, but they didn't. And
Yeah, it's clear that they're still trying to build up towards that main event match. They're taking out one of the what would be a key player in Team WCW for the main event.
I'm not exactly sure what the story was coming into this, but you have Dean Malenko coming in as the heel and Eddie Guerrero coming in as the face, and it's
So I'll give you a little background.
was Eddie was turning at this time, right, to cheating.
Well, I don't know who the heel was here because they were both doing a lot of heelish shit.
But this is about the time where the commentator said that someone was accusing Eddie of. Is this the point where you're turning?
Okay, so what happened was during the initial match where Eddie won the title from Dean, Six came out, tried to steal the belt. Eddie and Six were fighting over the belt as Six was trying to steal it, and so they were having kind of like a tug of war thing happening.
Yeah.
Six lets go of the belt, and Eddie like kind of falls backwards with the belt hitting Dean, causing him to knock Dean out, and he wins the match that way. So that's how Eddie became champion.
So that's why they were accusing him.
Yes, and since then Dean's been acting the heel, and he was being the heel on Nitro as he was on commentary during Eddie's match.
He was super cocky in this match. He was it was back and forth, but
there was a lot of back and forth. I thought the match started out kind of slow, but as you get into the match, as the match progresses, it definitely starts to tell a story where Dean is trying to take out. No, Eddie's trying to take out the legs.
Yeah.
For Dean, so that he can't put on the
Texas Cloverleaf.
And then Dean's trying to take out the arms and just working on the upper body of Eddie for the frog splash,
which Malenko hits him with, and goes for the cover, but then picks him up. Super cocky.
Yeah.
Heel,
and I like
shit.
that. I like that. Eddie. Yeah. I think one of the complaints that we had last week was that Dean didn't show a lot of personality. He's definitely showing some personality here.
Yeah.
I like that.
A lot of personality for the man of 1,000 holds. Dean Malenko, even though not covering Eddie to his full potential at points, picks up the win. Takes the United States title.
Yeah, it's almost, it goes full circle because Six comes out.
Oh yeah, sorry. That's how the finish ends. That's how they get the finish.
Yeah, Six comes out. He's got the Six cam. He's got a camcorder with him.
The Six cam.
He's trying to hit. I don't know if he's trying to hit Eddie or or what's going on. But
So-
there's a struggle.
From what happens is, so he comes and he takes the title, and he's trying to steal the title and leave with it. And he's got the 6 cam. Eddie grabs his hair and pulls him up, and then he tries to hit him with the cam, but Eddie ducks, so his forearm hits the back of Eddie, and the camera pops out.
Yeah, it pops out of Six's hand. Dean gets it and clocks Eddie with it.
While the ref is struggling with
And of course,
getting 6 out.
Of course, this match is no disqualification. At one point during the match, Eddie got some shots in with the belt, right? If I'm not mistaken, one of them got some shots in with the belt, with the U.S. title.
I forgot who it was.
So yeah, this match is no disqualification because it's uncensored. I think the gimmick of the paper, it's like a gimmick pay-per-view where I think all the matches have like a stipulation where it's no
You might be right, but a lot of them were.
Yeah.
So you might be right.
Yeah. It's like their extreme rules. But yeah, Dean picks up the win. He's now the United States champion coming out of this.
Yeah, and it's awesome to see that they're putting more of the higher level titles on the cruiserweights, since you had so much cruiserweight talent that they just weren't keeping them in that division, like they're kind of doing now. They're keeping them secluded on the show to one title, and they're like, well, this guy's really good, let's bring him up, and they bring one guy up.
Yeah,
every so often.
Yeah, so this definitely shows some elevation of what was cruiserweight talent. You know, basically claiming up the card and vying for a slightly higher card title.
And we see it later on too with other superstars within this card.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I love this match. A lot of people, I guess, don't give the credit to Dean that I think he deserves. He was a great technical wrestler. They don't call him the man of 1,000 holds for no reason.
Yep.
And his style paired perfectly with the other guys because it was different, and he knew how to work with them, knew how to work with the luchadors. So his style not only benefited him, but it benefited the match. In terms of everyone wants that high flying style, everyone wants to be that flashy guy, and
yeah, Dean didn't need to do that. He was flashy in his own subtle way.
Yeah,
and he definitely stood out, even though, you know, for somebody with that we've said displays very little personality, he definitely still stood out.
He put great matches on with anybody and everybody. Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Jericho. The list goes on.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought this was a really good way to start the show.
Yeah, incredible way. They used to start off with Eddie and Ray. It was always Eddie. Man. It was always Eddie. Eddie and Ray for Halloween Havocs. Eddie versus Malenkos. It was.
Hey man, so it just goes to show you, man, that Eddie always had that talent.
And so here's the thing. I'm gonna skip a little bit ahead. You didn't like the way that Bagwell was yelling at the fucking camera. Eddie knows how to do shit like that. Eddie knows how to sell it in the ring and not talk to the camera. Talks to his opponent, is talking to himself, and not looking at the camera and gloating. He's doing his shit his own way.
Yeah.
While still selling the match and expressing his emotions throughout it. And it's great to see. It's acting. It's acting while wrestling.
Yeah, just the expression overall of emotion and in-ring psychology. Both of these guys are really good at it.
Incredible match.
Yep.
Eddie Guerrero walks away. No, sorry. Dean Malenko.
Dean comes out as champion on this one.
After hitting with the camera.
Thanks to interference from 6. Yep.
From the NWO. Let's see. The match after that was Ultimate Dragon, Ultimo Dragon, the real name, versus Psychosis.
It's interesting because at some point, so they bring in Mike Tenay for this.
Yeah.
Mike Tenay is like their resident expert on
luchadors.
On the luchador talent, and so I think he's the one that points out that Ultimo Dragon is the gimmick is that he's Bruce Lee's like last.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah, his last student, right?
Yeah.
The ultimate, or the Ultimo Dragon, the
And
last dragon.
And that's why his name is Ultimo Dragon.
Yeah. 9-time, no, not 9-time. 9 different championships held in the lightweight division.
Yeah,
or cruiserweights.
Which it came out to they called it the J Crown Championship.
Yeah.
The combination of the 9 championships that he held at the time.
And he's only like very rarely does it.
I think only like 3 people have held the J Crown.
And the last dragon was.
He was one of them.
Yeah, one of them. Second match, boom, right away. Didn't take a lull. Continued on with the high pace, high energy, incredible match. And these guys,
so where the first match had a lot more technical wrestling with a mix of some lucha, this was a lot more lucha based.
Yeah, but you do have your technicalities from Ultimo Dragon though. Ultimo Dragon likes using his submissions a lot more. He does, but he incorporates both.
Yeah,
he incorporates a lot more both. But you have Psychosis, just more of the luchador, because he's the luchador. He's the Mexican guy.
Yeah.
With the fucking, if you guys don't know who Psychosis is, which he's near and dear to my heart. He was one of my favorites.
Oh man, I have like 3 of his masks.
Yeah, you have his mask. We used to wear it in high school.
Yeah, I would go into school dressed with the mask. I have like 3 of his masks.
I loved Ultimo Dragon too. And seeing this match as the second one was like, yes, fuck yeah. These 2 guys put on, dude. Psychosis, I was going to mention, if you guys don't know who he is, he's the guy with the horn mask. Only the mouth is exposed. Everything else is covered. He's got 2 horns. Yeah, and he's got the long hair.
Later on in his career, they would have him come out on a lawnmower in WWE as one of the Mexicools.
Yeah, not his best work. Not his best work.
I don't know why I liked that.
I don't know either.
Because I remember I would talk about it.
Yeah, a lot.
And I
because it was such a shitty gimmick.
I guess.
The Mexicools on a lawnmower.
I guess at the time I thought it was funny.
I hated that they unmasked him so much.
I hated that they unmasked him. Yeah.
What you gonna do, brother?
Yeah. I guess I wasn't as aware or woke, I guess.
So you have a good back and forth between these 2 guys, and Ultimo Dragon is playing the heel in this fight.
Oh yeah, very much the heel.
His manager Ono interferes and lands a wheel kick on this guy. Uses some martial arts.
Those kicks that Sonny Ono, like they're so good.
He's a martial artist. You can tell he's got good technique. He's a taekwondo guy, especially by his kicks. Awesome match, but Ultimo Dragon comes out the victor.
Yeah,
no titles on the line for this.
What I liked was that they didn't go to the finish after Sonny Ono interfered. I thought that made Psychosis look pretty good, because here you have Sonny Ono interfering with those really nice kicks, throws him back in the ring, throws Psychosis back in the ring, and Dragon goes for the pin.
Who's Cruiserweight champion?
6.
Sorry. Oh yeah.
6 is Cruiserweight champion at this time. A Dragon goes for the pin, and Psychosis kicks out. So I thought that made him look a little stronger. I'm maybe you know, because I can't think of it, but was he ever Cruiserweight champion?
Who?
Psychosis?
That I can think of? No, I never remember. No.
Okay.
I don't think he was ever given the title.
Okay. What a shame.
Yeah, what a shame.
What a shame.
That I can remember? No, man.
I think he's someone that, looking back, you could have elevated to that TV title scene.
Was he even tag champion? No. Right?
No, I don't think he ever held a championship there.
You know what? I'm gonna look it up. All I gotta do is look up Psychosis, right?
If you look up the Cruiserweight Championship, it'll give you the lineage. Or yeah, you can just
say it down here, right?
Look it up there.
World Championship.
Oh, he was Cruiserweight champion
2
twice.
times.
Okay,
damn.
No, that's good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's good. But I think that he was somebody that they could have elevated to a U.S. title or TV title. As a contender for either one of those titles. Definitely somebody that they could have utilized a little bit more outside of that cruiserweight scene.
Yeah, but I think one of the main factors that he didn't was the lack of English.
Yeah, the lack of English might have been an issue. But yeah, Dragon comes out of this as the winner. I don't think that there's no like stipulation attached to this, right?
To this match?
Yeah.
No.
Like the winner gets a shot at something, right?
They didn't mention it or
yeah,
anything.
I didn't think so. I think this was just a match, but yeah, I thought this was a very good match as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if they mention who he takes the title off of, but I can't see. Oh, okay.
Looks like
he beat Blitzkrieg.
He beat Blitzkrieg, Juventud, and Rey Mysterio in a 4-way to win the Cruiserweight Championship for the first time.
What about the second time? Oh, shit. Oh, he lost his match.
So, yeah, he lost his match to
Rey Mysterio Sr.
Mm-hmm, in Mexico.
Does he wear it now?
I think he does. You know what?
Rey Mysterio does.
I went to a Lucha show.
Mm-hmm.
I think in like 2016, 2015 at Cicero Stadium. And he was there, but Psychosis, but I don't think it was the real Psychosis.
Yeah, maybe not.
I think like I may have told you about it too.
You know why I don't remember this? Is 99 and 2000. I might have made the switch already.
Oh, okay.
I might have tuned out. I might have been like, all right, I'm out this bitch.
You know what?
Everyone jumped ship.
That's surprising. I didn't think Psychosis would be around in 99 and 2000. Just based on the fact that the writing was pretty much on the wall in 99 and 2000 as far as
where the company was going to go.
Yeah, as far as WCW's future.
Especially WWF having no interest in the cruiserweight scene.
Yeah. That 99 and 2000 era, I think a lot of people were like just gone. And at that point, I think WCW could have saved themselves, but they really needed to restructure.
Yeah. Yeah, so Ultimo Dragon beat Psychosis. After that, we had Glacier versus Mortis.
I kind of...
the match of the two gimmicks.
Yeah, I kind of...
Sub-Zero versus some kind of death.
Yeah, I kind of tuned out during this
You
match.
right over there, bro?
No, I'm good. Just having some issues here.
Yeah, my contacts are a little bit drying out, so that's why I've been blinking and shit. Because I've been smoking and shit.
Yeah, I kind of tuned out during this match. I knew what it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Mortal Kombat knockoff match. No, I don't know if you noticed, but this was supposed to be a martial arts match.
Yeah, what did that mean?
I don't know.
I saw it
because
like
I definitely didn't
match.
see any kind of martial arts here.
I saw it just looked like a strong style match and a weak strong style match. It seemed like a slow robotic strong style match.
So Glacier or the wrestler that played Glacier, I'm sure could have pulled
Sub-Zero?
off a pretty good strong style
Sub-Zero.
match against a suitable opponent that would have given him the same kind of performance. But we're talking about Chris Kanyon.
Yeah,
Mortis.
one question. Why were the costumed characters wearing costumes to the ring? Like, on top of their costumes. Like, Sub-Zero fights with his face covered.
Yeah.
And almost like a full suit, except for his arms covered. Not a singlet, a doublet. I don't know what they call it. But it's like pants.
Well, he's in
pants
ninja
and-
ninja getup.
Yeah, he's in a ninja getup.
Yeah,
and then you have Mortis. He's got
part of
like
the
a full
Lin Kuei.
getup as well that has got like ribs painted on, and he's got a mask too, and it's like a skull mask, and he's got his hair out. But you have them come out to the ring in even more gear, which
It's like
to me it was dumb.
it's like the Undertaker wearing the duster to the ring. That's what this is.
No, Glacier had on like a samurai fucking
Glacier
helmet,
and
like armor.
He did have like a full on costume.
Yeah, and armor, and like And so did Mortis. Mortis came out with armor as well.
I was telling you off the air that that costume that Glacier wears to the ring costs like $25,000.
And then you put on more. And you're like, hey, let's add on more. The more stupid shit. As a kid, I'm not going to lie, I was excited for Sub-Zero, a.k.a. Glacier, but
yeah,
it was a flop.
Yeah, I liked it, and then he started jobbing out to everyone, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
It's only rock and roll, but I like it.
I always thought Mortis had a really cool look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, I loved them both as a kid, but that's because they look fucking sick. When you're a kid, when you're an adult, you're like, oh, these guys can't wrestle. They're not let on the mic for a reason. And that gimmick alone, they weren't gonna get over.
Probably not. Yeah, like you weren't gonna see Glacier in the main event. I mean, I guess if you book him right, but yeah, I kind of tuned out during this match. I thought it was very much a throwaway match.
It was definitely the lull of the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to add. Glacier wins.
Yeah.
This match. And then at the end of the match, Mortis attacks Glacier, and they bring out this big guy who is that turns out to be Wrath. I think because Wrath comes out with a mask too.
Yeah.
They should have kept it on.
Yeah,
they should have kept it on.
So here's what I wanted to ask you about Wrath. So Wrath is the unlockable guy in WCW versus NWO World Tour, right? The super powerful guy. He's super strong. He beats the shit out of people, and he's like, you have to beat the game over and over and over again to unlock the different companies, to unlock the NWA, to unlock this, to unlock that, to eventually get a boxer. But Wraith is one of the ones that you unlock because you had to beat the game as one of the characters from that company. And if you beat it from that company, you face that company's champion, and you unlock that champion.
Yeah.
And Wraith was one of them.
Yeah, I think he was. Glacier was another. Macho Man was another.
Yeah,
one.
He would make a noise like "Hurrah!" or something like that. Like
yeah.
He had a unique noise, and he was powerful.
Yeah.
And yeah, Macho was one of them. He was badass with the thunder.
Yeah.
Get up and the glasses.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So Wrath
Let me tell you something, Jesus. Yeah.
Wrath was Brian Clark, formerly known as Adam Bomb in WWE. And he would go on to be use his real name, Brian Clark, in the tag team with Crush, who would also be using his real name. That same tag team called Chronic. You probably don't remember that.
No,
I asked you. I asked you, and you were like, I don't know what the fuck that is. That was more during the last days of WCW. I think they made some appearances on WWE TV.
Yeah.
Very early on in that invasion angle. Same with Canyon. I can't believe they didn't use Canyon more in WWE.
And you mean Mortis? Weren't Canyon and Mortis the same guy?
You know what? There's an old article in a WWE magazine, and I remember because I used to have it, and it has a picture of Mortis, and like it's like a quick little thing saying that they're gonna bring him back. And this was way back in the day, and I remember I had that WWE magazine. And they're showing him, except the costume's green. In this picture it was purple. So that would have been interesting to see Mortis in WWE. That ultimately did not happen.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, because I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, shitty match, but what can you do?
Yeah, that was a shitty match. They can't all be Eddie and Dean.
Yeah, or Psychosis and Ultimo Dragon.
Yeah.
After that match, we had Buff Bagwell taking on Scotty Riggs, the jobber. Scotty Riggs never made it anywhere past this. This is probably one of his highest level matches that he had.
After this, Scotty Riggs would go on to join the Flock and wear the eye patch. Yeah. I think
they have a strap match.
He was definitely jobbing.
They have to strap on dildos and fuck each other in the ass. First one to do it wins. Those are the rules, right?
Yeah.
Was I watching the right pay-per-view?
I mean, that's what I saw.
No, so they have a long strap and they're strapped to each other.
Yeah,
And,
standard strap match rules. The first person to touch all four corners wins.
Yeah. These guys beat the shit out of each other with that strap for a while.
I thought this was a really good match. I just thought it went on a little too long. It was very physical. They did beat the shit out of each other with that strap. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't like that Buff Bagwell talks at the camera so much. I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't think it does him any favors.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like it either. Maybe it's good on him as a heel. It gets some hate, but it was more annoying than anything.
I thought Buff looked pretty good in this match as far as like charisma, but Scotty Riggs, you know, the he's good in the ring, but I mean that's about it. There's no charisma there.
Yeah.
There's really not anything there. I didn't like the white male stripper outfit that he was wearing.
Yeah, it was kind of like
Very Cien Almas-ish.
Brutus the Barber Beefcake-esque
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah.
Brother
I
Brutai.
I hated that.
Yeah.
But, you know, not much else to say about this match. Pretty physical. I thought the finish was nice because, you know, if you think back to like the strap match that Steve Austin had with Savio Vega, it was just Steve dragging Savio Vega around.
Poor Steve dragging fat ass around.
You know, and touching all four corners. But in this case, the finish was Scotty Riggs kind of getting caught up on the outside and just getting himself caught up in the strap between the ropes and Buff touching all four corners. So I thought that was a pretty nice finish. It wasn't like it wasn't copying anything that we'd seen before.
Yeah. I was entertained by that match, especially after the Glacier Mortis match, but
I just thought it went a little too long.
Yeah.
But other than that, totally fine.
Next match was Harlem Heat, Booker T and Stevie Ray with Sister Sherry taking on Public Enemy. Can you please explain to me why Public Enemy was so popular and why they... Well, the only reason they were where they were at was because of the popularity. Rocco and... What was the other guy's name?
Johnny Grunge. Rocco
Grunge,
Johnny.
yeah.
Johnny Grunge. I don't know. I can't explain that to you. I thought the same thing.
Rocco sucks at wrestling at whatever he was trying to do. I don't know, like his selling, his mic things. Like he seems like he was off. Like kind of nervous.
So
they're ECW guys, right?
They're ECW guys. I think what got over more than anything was the gimmick. So it kind of fell to the same, at least in my opinion, it kind of fell to the same.
Oh, here it was. They asked him a question. He started rapping. Rocco.
It was the same situation with like No Way Jose or Adam Rose, where those gimmicks get over in small venues with NXT, but then you go to like the big ass arenas. And you know, the guys following out No Way Jose or Adam Rose. Yeah. It doesn't work.
And it didn't work.
I think that's the same case here.
Especially not against Harlem Heat, man.
In the ECW arena, you had these guys coming out, rapping, putting guys through tables. You know, in a small arena like the bingo hall where they used to hold the ECW shows.
You can do that there.
That works.
Yeah.
Because you have a hardcore crowd that's no pun intended, that's following the product very closely, and they're getting behind all of the talent. But in WCW, where it's a more general crowd, it's a more broader crowd, they're looking for other things. They're probably there to see Roddy Piper and Hulk Hogan. They don't know what these guys are about, and so it's not going to work.
To me, I did not like it, and I'm glad that Harlem Heat beat the shit out of these guys. Well, when they got their licks in, it was a hardcore match.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I didn't get it. Like I didn't know that they were ECW guys. I just thought, who are these fat guys?
Well, it was a Texas Tornado match, so there's no tagging. It was just everyone for everyone. They're just beating the shit out of everybody or out of themselves. There's a lot of trash cans and pans being slammed over heads. Booker T and Stevie Ray seem to be selling 100%, like selling their shots, like giving their shots 100%. Rocco and this other Grunge were not. They seem to be 70%ing it to 60%ing it, so they weren't selling their shots all the way. So when they were like hitting, it just didn't look all the way right. And if you're gonna be selling it, sell it right. I think Harlem Heat had no hesitation in beating the shit out of these guys, and they did beat the shit out of them. Not out of line, but they definitely took a beating.
Yeah. It makes me wonder how Public Enemy actually ended up in WWE.
Dude, they got their ass beat.
And then they got their ass beat by the APA. And I think a lot of it
in this one, just a regular wrestling match, they got their ass beat.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think these guys intentionally were doing it, but just their physicality and these guys not being that physical, they didn't belong there. Like you were just saying, they did not belong here against professionals. Dude, Booker T's gigantic, and his brother's even bigger than him, and they're fucking super athletic. Did you see the Harlem Hangover off the? Dude,
yeah, that was insane.
he fucking and like not only is it insane that he did it, it is insane on how he landed it on Rocco.
Yeah,
he landed it. It wasn't a botch, but he landed it pretty hard.
It looked really snug, really like it'll really fuck
it
you
hurt.
Up. Yep,
it hurt right to the head. It was. If you guys don't know what the Harlem Hangover is, Booker T goes to the top rope and literally does a front flip and lands a leg drop on your fucking head.
Yeah,
and he landed a lot of his body on a lot of Rocco's top body.
Yeah, these two guys are really going, or these four guys are really going at it with each other. With even Sherry Martel getting involved in some, at some instances. Mm-hmm. I think the real highlight of this match was the commentary by Dusty Rhodes. Whenever,
is this where he lost it,
dude? At one point,
what did he lose it on? I just remember.
So, at one point, one of the guys from Harlem Heat hits one of the guys from Public Enemy. Over the head super hard with like a trash can, and Dusty Rhodes just loses his shit and starts laughing. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I caught that too.
And then there's this other point where one of the guys from Public Enemy is putting like a toilet seat around the head of one of the guys from Harlem Heat, and again Dusty loses it. That's definitely the highlight of the match.
He made up for being really like incoherent in the beginning. He was really off in the beginning. I was like, "What are you talking about, Dusty? Like, you're just adding nothing right now." And then later on, him losing it and like having a giggle fest and him containing it and trying to go off. It was awesome.
Yeah, and it wasn't like you could tell that was his genuine reaction to somebody getting hit over the head with a trash can. Mm-hmm. Like
he hit him with a bicycle. What match was that in?
That was a match with the Big Boss Man, and I don't remember who. Maybe Hugh Morris in WCW.
Okay. Let's see. Great match. Like I said, that Harlem Hangover was epic.
Yeah, this was definitely one of the more entertaining matches. But it was just that. It was very entertaining. Mm-hmm. I think and they even mention it throughout the match too. At one of the previous years Uncensored, they had a similar match where like they were fighting in the concessions and somebody got like ketchup poured on them or something.
Mm-hmm. I do remember that. I think
it might have been like Uncensored.
I might be making that
95 or 96.
Anything else on that match? Juice.
No, Harlem Heat wins this.
One of my favorite tag teams.
Yeah, and they just went in the Hall of Fame, so good on them.
This was for a number one contender spot now, right?
I don't think so. I think this was just a match that they had on there. If you recall to the Nitro, the Go Home Nitro, they ended that Nitro with a brawl between the four of them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think this was just a feud.
Yeah.
And this was probably like the culmination of that. Yeah, Harlem Heat wins this one, which I think is the right decision. I'm sorry. I'm sure there's Public Enemy fans out there, And you know,
There's hardcore ECW fans.
I don't mean to disrespect because both of them at this point have passed on.
Yeah, but guess what?
But
this is where the big boys play.
Yeah, but
get it? Verb play.
No, adjective.
Oh yeah,
sorry. Look at the adjective.
Yeah, look at the adjective. Play. It's like, dude, just shut up, Nash. Just shut up.
Yeah, the right team won. I'm sorry, but I just don't see. I don't see anything in Public Enemy.
I was never a huge fan. I'll ask Jeff about them next time that I'm on with him, but because he was a big ECW fan.
No, I definitely see the appeal. Like in a, I guess if you want to look at it from the perspective of like an enclosed universe, I definitely see the appeal of a team like Public Enemy in the enclosed universe of ECW.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I don't think that that's going to work.
Gotcha. Prince Iaukea versus Rey Mysterio Jr. for the television title. This was an instance of us mentioning earlier how the cruiserweights were getting chances at the television title, United States Championship, because of how talented they were. No?
I'm sorry, man. I'm looking at the TV.
Oh.
Referee Randy Anderson is like hugging Kevin Nash in the corner. I'm
like
sorry,
he can hold him back.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Anyway, Prince Iaukea, one of the things that I noticed about him was that he was very green at this time, which is very surprising that they have him in, I guess you could say, a high-profile match like this, especially, you know,
against Spider-Man.
Yeah, like, against such a high-caliber talent as Rey Mysterio Jr. I get what this match was trying to do. I just don't like what it was. I just don't like the way it did it. From what I got was that they were trying to establish Prince Iaukea as a viable opponent, which would explain why he has the television title. But I don't like that they did it at the expense of Rey Mysterio Jr. because what happens in the match is that I guess they call for time. They run out of time.
The television title is, for those people that don't know, on WCW, the television title held a 10-minute time limit for its contention on regular shows. For this one, it was given a 15-minute time limit. It exceeded the 15-minute time limit, so Ray asked for an extension, and what's his name, Iaukea, granted it to him, but he said since it's a pay-per-view, they wanted to make sure there was a winner.
Yeah. I think that this was very much at the expense of Ray.
Because he lost right after.
He was the one asking for an extension, and then he lost.
Yeah. And because he's like, hey, I clearly put up a challenge. He's like, I should be your next. I should be. I should get more time. And then he does, and he loses on a reversal to his Frankensteiner to a pin, or Hurricane Rana to a pin. Yeah. Off the ropes.
Yeah. So, like I said, Prince Iaukea was very green at this time. Ray was clearly doing most of the work in the match.
Mm-hmm.
He was, at least that's what I saw.
Yeah. Dude, how small was Ray?
I know. Like, Prince Iaukea looks small.
Yeah.
And he's slightly bigger than Ray. I'm probably taller than Ray.
Yeah.
And I'm you know, if we have to compare it, I'm
compare the roids Ray now to the regular Ray back then.
I'm Daniel Bryan's height, and I'm probably taller than Ray.
No, he's tiny, but like he was not juicing back here.
No,
and if he was, it wasn't something crazy.
No, he was really, like, he had some definition on him, but he was really lean.
Yeah,
and obviously the height.
Very acrobatic, so he was able to do a lot.
Yeah, I don't think he had the knee problems that he has now.
Well, no, he doesn't have a lot of weight from the roids.
From the roids.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I get what this match was trying to do. I just don't like the way it did it.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could have made Prince Iaukea look good, and still, basically, if he would have pinned Ray, it wouldn't have hurt Ray.
Mm-hmm. Iaukea retains the television title. I'm a Ray fan. I wish Ray would have won, but whatever. You get what you get.
You didn't like Prince Ikea, bro?
Yeah, but I like Rey Mysterio more.
I definitely got more into Prince Ikea when he was doing the Prince gimmick. The artist
That's your
formerly
boy.
known as Prince
Yeah.
Ikea. That was great.
I get it. Next, we had a triple threat, 4-man weird style, a triangle elimination match is what they called it. So we had 3 teams of 4. We had the NWO team, which consisted of Nash, Hall, Macho Man, and Hogan. And then we had the WCW.
They had Dennis Rodman.
And Dennis Rodman on the outside.
Yeah.
Then we had the WCW team, which consisted of the Steiners, the Giant, and Lex Luger. And then we had the 4 Horsemen with Roddy Piper as
that
like
was
a mercenary kind of taking over.
That was Team Piper. It was NWO, Team Piper, and Team WCW.
Mm-hmm. And Team Piper was the 4 Horsemen though in there as well.
Yeah.
So it was 3 of the Horsemen and Piper as Team Piper. If Piper's team wins, Piper gets Hogan in a cell. If WCW wins, they get the titles back, and the NWO is barred from wrestling for 3 years.
Yeah.
And
if the NWO wins, they can challenge for any title anywhere.
They're pretty much considered a company, right?
Yeah.
That's what WCW was kind of trying to do. They were trying to stop them from getting titles and trying to stop them from wrestling on WCW and trying to stop them from doing all these things because they were the invading company.
Yeah.
And this was the match to settle it.
I hated this match.
Why?
I thought it was stupid. It's overbooked.
Yeah. I thought you meant like just the gimmick of it, not the actual the playing out of it.
No, it's completely overbooked. And one of the things that they did early on in the show was they took out one of Team WCW's guys, which was Rick Steiner. Mm-hmm. So going into this, Team WCW only has 3 guys going into it.
Well, the NWO has to win though.
Well, yeah, but going into it, like I guess they're trying to establish that. They're trying to establish that Team WCW is they're the underdog and are they gonna how are they gonna pull it off with just 3 guys when the other 2 teams have 4? Mm-hmm. But I hated this. I thought it was overbooked. I thought the rules were like too much.
Oh, it was all over the place.
It was definitely all over the place. This was
classic WCW.
So, oh my God, yeah.
Hey, let's put 3 cages on top of each other and the title at the top and have everyone fight for it, and let's have 3 separate teams in there. Okay. What?
So,
and let's throw weapons everywhere. Okay.
So you explained the stakes. You explained you explained who was involved. On paper, that's what you have.
Yeah.
But the actual execution of the match is very much. It's basically like the Royal Rumble, where you have it's basically a battle royal where you have
every like 3 minutes or 5 minutes though, right, or something like that.
Yeah, every 2 minutes somebody would come in, somebody new would come in. From a different
and it was
team.
weird because so one guy would come in, then the next guy would come in, they could start fighting, and then the third guy would come in.
Yeah,
because you couldn't have them all come out at the same time either.
Yeah, you started out with Scott Hall, the Giant.
And Chris Benoit.
The
Crippler.
Yeah. The Giant is the first one eliminated, so they're WCW's 2 guys down.
Any eliminations counted. If you went over the top, Royal Rumble's rules counted. If you got pinned, you were out. If you got submitted, you were out. It was just fuckery everywhere.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the match was mostly over the top rope eliminations.
Yes.
Yeah, this match was all over the place. I hated it. I hated the execution of it. Maybe it could have been done better. Maybe this could have been done better if it was done like war game style.
Mm-hmm. I have the order if you want the order. So the Giants eliminated first, Jeff Jarrett's eliminated second, and then Steve McMichael's eliminated third. So you have 2 Team Piper down and 1 WCW. So right away,
well, 2.
You have 2, and 4. 4 NWO, 2 Team Piper, and 2 WCW guys left.
Yeah.
after those eliminations. What ultimately comes down to it, it's 4 NWO guys, and Lex Luger.
NWO doesn't get eliminated.
I guess one key factor I did pass up that you really should highlight. Rodman pulls down the rope and Piper gets thrown over.
That's how he gets thrown over. That's Piper at this point is Team WCW's last guy, and Team WCW's out once Piper's out.
Or Team Piper.
No, you're right. I'm sorry.
Because Lex is still in there for
it's
WCW.
Fucking confusing.
Yeah. Because it's Team Piper, Team WCW, and NWO, and it seems like Team Piper's for WCW, but why aren't the 4 Horsemen fighting for WCW as well? You know.
Yeah.
But it's Lex Luger left to fight all of the NWO with Rodman outside, and then they make Luger Super Luger, and he submits Macho with the torture rack.
Yes.
While everyone's in the ring, and then he throws Nash out, and then he submits Hall. Hall right away taps out to the torture rack, and then him and Hogan are going at it, and Rodman, like a fucking idiot the whole time, is hinting that he's got something in his pocket, and then he gives it to Hogan, or he gives it to Macho, while the ref is being distracted by Nash being hugged, like you were just distracted right now.
So it's funny because
that's how they get the distraction.
You have referee Pee Wee Anderson holding Kevin Nash in the corner of the ring, and like at one point he's just like hugging him. Yeah, it just looks funny.
So that's when they spray Luger in the face with spray paint, and they stop him from beating Hogan. And stopping the NWO from continuing and being barred, being barred for 3 years. So Hulk Hogan is the lone survivor for Team NWO. They get to keep the titles. They can challenge for any of the titles they want.
Hogan pins Lex Luger, and Team NWO wins it.
And they celebrate, and then
they start beating up on Luger. Rodman comes in, he's slapping Luger around.
Oh, dude, and he's missing all the slaps.
It looks so bad.
Yeah, so bad.
Rod the Bod. It looks so bad.
And then they're leaving, and then you have Sting drop down from the scaffolding, and right away you know he's.
This was stupid too. Like why didn't Sting come down
and join them for the 4th guy?
Yeah. This was stupid.
I know you needed the NWO to win, but.
Well, so I guess the whole thing was because if you remember on the Go Home Nitro, Sting, the actual Sting, not the NWO Sting, came out with the NWO, and they were trying to give him the shirt, and they kind of just laid it on his shoulder. And so I guess
the fake Sting?
No, that was the real Sting.
Yeah, because at some point they did have a fake Sting. Right?
They did have a fake Sting. No, but this was the real Sting.
That storyline together because it's so confusing.
So I guess they were trying to have that. But like I don't think the announcers ever acknowledged it. Like, where is Sting and all this?
Yeah, no, he wasn't talked about.
So
and then he drops from the fucking ceiling.
So you have to have had watched the previous week's Nitro to like get why Sting took forever. Because I guess they were trying to do it like whose side is Sting on kind of thing. But he comes down, he cleans house. This was actually where he debuted the Scorpion Death Drop.
Okay, he didn't do that.
He hadn't done that.
It's like a backward. Point. It's like a DDT, but you're backwards instead of you looking down. You're looking up, and he does a DDT.
Yeah, it inverted DDT.
Kind of. There we go. You got it. Yeah. So this is where Sting chooses to be loyal to the WCW because he was contemplating. He would just be watching from the rafters because the fans were fickle. They were with the NWO because the NWO was a cool thing to do. He had changed his gimmick completely, and this was him actually saying, you know what, fuck it, I'm saving WCW, which doesn't really matter because eventually he joins the NWO. But
he joins another faction of the NWO.
Yeah,
it's not the real NWO.
Well, he joined both of them. He joined the white and he joined the red. Didn't he join the white?
No.
No?
No.
He only joined the red?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll believe you.
One of the other notable things here is how this is probably the first interaction between Sting and Hogan where they're kind of squaring off against each other and planting the seats for what would be Starrcade later on that year.
Which they fuck up.
Which they fuck up so bad.
Which they do all the time, though. Because of Hogan.
It's WCW.
Yeah, it's a Hogan.
It's WCW, bro.
Yeah. This was the botched pin, right?
For Starrcade?
It was a fast pin because Hogan called for it, and then Brett comes in and says, "Hey, go fucking redo it," and then he gets him in the Scorpion Deathlock, right?
Yeah.
And then he calls it.
Yeah,
Brett himself calls it, right?
Yeah, and
gives him the title, and then everyone from the WCW
gets the title. Man, that's like a really big fuck you. Mm-hmm. Like you have Sting win this ultimate.
Which you should go check out. I just did with Jeff recently. WrestleMania 9, where Yokozuna faced Bret Hart, and then Hogan. Bret Hart loses, and then Hogan comes out and challenges him and beats him in like 32 seconds, and then gives the belt should give the belt to Bret, but doesn't, and then he's the new champion, and hooray, Hogan.
Is this where he calls Yokozuna a Jap?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. In the promo, yeah.
He calls the Samoan guy a Jap.
Yeah. Well, the WWF was calling a Samoan guy a Jap.
They weren't saying Jap though.
Well, it's 3 letters of the whole phrase, so whatever.
Well, you're not supposed to say that.
Well, because people mean it in a derogatory way. What if I don't mean it in a derogatory way? Is it still bad?
I think it's bad regardless.
I don't think so.
I
hate you. See? Loses all meaning if I say it like that. Because I don't mean it.
Well, not really.
Oh, so you think I hate you?
I don't know that you don't.
Okay. Well, I might.
Right?
Yeah. Who knows?
Well. Anyway.
I think you hate me because I'm the WWE champion.
Well, I was WWE champion before.
Belt's right there.
Yeah, my belt's at home.
Yeah. Where it belongs, because it doesn't belong in the Full Studios.
You know what? You know what? You know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna get the big gold.
Bro.
I'm gonna get it too. The big gold.
Oh, we'll go at it, bro.
Arms race.
We'll go at it.
This is gonna be an arms race.
It's an arms race for belts. We're just gonna get belts.
Yeah.
Anything else, Hoju?
You know what? We didn't talk about the
DDP
Macho Man thing.
Yeah,
dude, that feud with Macho Man and DDP. Yeah, and it was so good.
Mm-hmm. Kind of ugly.
It was so good.
They spray painted DDP's chick all crazy.
Yeah. So
even Elizabeth
Macho Man comes out with a copy of Playboy, like the celebrity edition or something, and he's like, "Look at the centerfold." Oh yeah. And it's Kimberly Page, and they spray painted NWO over like, her
tits.
Yeah, her tits.
Yeah, her milk bags, her sloppers.
Yeah,
and big sloppy perps.
And so
her milk bags.
And so, man, I thought, man, what a fucking heelish thing to do. That's so cool. Like, you come out here with the guy that you're feuding with. Come out here with naked pictures of his wife, with NWO sprayed over her tits. That's fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
So DDP comes out. He says he's gone too far. And then they beat the shit out of Macho Man, or they beat the shit out of DDP. They spray paint him.
They get him distracted because he's looking at his girl. That's been spray painted.
Yeah. But he gets spray painted. Kimberly Page gets spray painted. Elizabeth
spray paints Kimberly Page.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I thought that was a really cool.
She's segment. She turned super heel.
Yeah.
Well, she was doing drugs and shit, so
Yeah. Hey, I don't know if you know this, but Vice is doing like a documentary series on different wrestling stories, and one of them is
I heard about that
with Macho and Liz.
Okay,
it's called Dark Side of the Ring.
Because he was super violent, super protective of her, right?
He was overprotective of her, mm-hmm. and like a little to the point,
controlling.
Yeah, to the point where he's very controlling of her.
It might have almost crossed the line.
Yeah. And for a lot of the time,
Well, didn't Lex Luger fucking... Wasn't he partying with her?
dude, I always, up until I saw this, I always, like, held Luger responsible for that.
Who was it then? Because you said up until you saw this.
I think it was a combination of, like, he kind of introduced her to that, and she took it way out of control. I think that's what it boiled down to. Yeah, she.
Look at Luger now, man.
Luger is. I think he's in a good place emotionally and mentally, but he's definitely not the Luger that was on this Uncensored. Yeah, and Liz, you know, she passed on at 42.
OD'd.
Yeah, because of that lifestyle. But it's a pretty cool. I saw it last night. It's a pretty well done, pretty cool documentary. They have one on Bruiser Brody. I haven't seen it yet.
Got stabbed to death by a Puerto Rican guy in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, he got stabbed by
money issues in the locker room.
I don't remember his name. I know his first name's Jose, but I know his in-ring name was Invader 1.
Okay.
That's who he got stabbed by. And so I think Zeb Coulter, Dutch Mantel, is on that one.
Okay, because he was wrestling at that time.
He was wrestling at that time in Puerto Rico. Tony Atlas is on it, and Abdullah the Butcher.
A lot of people say, a lot of people corroborate the story. Well, no, that's what it was, right? The guy. Well, he said that Bruiser Brody attacked him, right?
So the guy,
that's what he claims.
The guy that stabbed Bruiser claims that it was self-defense.
But he went into the shower with a knife.
He went in. The story is that he went into the shower with the knife, called Brody over. Tony Atlas says that he was talking to Brody shortly before the stabbing happened. And as they called him into the shower, that interrupted their conversation. Brody went into the shower. Atlas heard Brody scream twice, and he comes out, and he's bleeding, and he's been stabbed.
And due to the horrible, medical assistance and personnel, Bruiser didn't get to the hospital in time, right?
No, I think what happened was that they sliced some of his organs.
Okay. And
so had the wounds not been as bad as they actually were, he probably would have made it.
Yeah. So that piece of shit killed Brody.
Yeah.
And they couldn't really do anything because he claimed self-defense.
He claimed self-defense, and then a lot of the wrestlers either corroborated the story or wouldn't testify out of fear.
Well, the guy was a promoter.
Yeah, he was definitely in with the promoters, and you know that's one of the reasons why. And we're getting totally off topic, but that's one of the reasons why I was very critical of the inclusion of Carlos Colon in the Hall of Fame, because he was somebody that could have made a difference in that case, and he didn't. He basically was a bystander to a murder. He facilitated that murder.
Yeah. What can you do, brother? Brother Mercy.
But I'm gonna check out the Bruiser Brody documentary. It looks pretty interesting. Like I said, I saw the one with Elizabeth and Macho Man last night. I thought it was very well done. For anybody out there who wants to check it out, it's on Vice. You should check it out.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
You back in studio?
Yeah. Do you want to do another show, or do you want to announce it later? Do you want to talk about it and then announce it later?
I say the sooner we know, the better. We don't have to announce it, but I say we pick a show and then so we can watch it, because I like watching it a couple times so it sinks in my head.
Yeah.
So I can just pull it right here like that.
Yeah.
Like that noise. Me and you are kind of like the WCW guys. I like going to you for WCW. I can go for you at anything really, but Ryan likes doing WrestleManias. Me and you love WCW and the NWO, of course. Jeff likes ECW, so I kind of have like the trio, but we can do whatever you want.
Oh man,
that I go to.
I'm putting out a challenge right now.
We can have Jeff on one of these days if
Yes.
that's what you're putting on.
Yes.
It could be a three. It could be a three-way
Yes.
call.
I'm calling you out, Jeff.
Well, not a three-way call. It could be a two. It's me and you here, and then Jeff is over there.
I'm calling you out, Jeff.
We can do it.
We should do a ECW.
We can do it.
His choice.
We can do it. He loves ECW.
Yeah, his choice. We
All
can
right.
do an ECW. I'd love to do that.
Where can they find you? Jesus Hoju.
Not on Instagram, not on Twitter, not on any other social media. I'm not a social media guy, man.
Oh, look at the tough guy over here.
I'm off the grid.
Yeah, get out of here.
I'm-
They got all your fucking info. All right, I'll tell them where you live.
I'm off the grid.
Don't make me fucking give out your address. All right.
I'm off the grid like Jesse Ventura.
You guys just DM me. I'll give you Jesus' address
Oh man, I wonder if anybody's actually
and his
gonna.
fucking phone number.
I wonder if anybody's actually gonna
I don't know.
DM
You guys want his email?
That'd be funny.
I have an old shirt. I'll send you guys the old shirt that me and him own. The NWO shirt.
What?
It's the outside as well.
You're gonna send out nudes of me on my behalf.
No, I'm gonna send them that shirt.
You're
don't know why.
gonna send them the nudes that I've sent you
Yes.
on my behalf.
Yes. Go ahead and check out the rewrites. Subscribe to not only Full Heel Podcast, but to the rewrites on, well, Full Heel Podcast on iTunes, Podbean, Podcast Republic, all of that good stuff. The rewrites are on SoundCloud, YouTube. Check out Son Caesar. The kid's tearing it up in the rap game. He's releasing singles out there.
Hey, DM Rafa here, and let him know if you want to hear more WCW from us.
I thought you were talking about the other Rafa.
No.
Okay, yeah. So hit me up. We'll see what we cover next. Maybe Uncensored 98.
Maybe.
No? Okay. The Jesus doesn't seem like he was into it. But we'll see you guys next time on the Full Heel Podcast. I love you, cocksuckers. Jesus doesn't. I don't know why.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's what he said.
No, I love everyone. What are you talking about? What? Because I'm not on Instagram and Twitter and all that shit.
Yeah.
Maybe
Exactly.
I'll get an Instagram.
Do it.
You've
Do
told,
it.
You've told me to do it.
Do it.
I got a lot of cool shit to show off.
Yeah, I'll see you guys next time on the Full Heel Podcast. Thanks for listening. Please enjoy. Go download all the episodes. I see the love. Thanks for the recent downloads. I see the numbers. Please subscribe. Tell your friends. Tell your mom. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time on the Full Heel Podcast.